Welcome to Marketplace Ministry. It's Chaplain Anthony James. What's going on, people? Just coming on, ready to get this work done, ready to just empower, to encourage, and to just explore, what God is doing, and just some great things going on, even in the pandemic, even in, community situations going on with the social things, and people are still protesting in certain areas that's still at large, and just on here trying to make sense of all what's going on in this world and the communities and so what have you. So yeah, just glad to be here once again, to, like I said, explore the to get some understanding, help understand to be understood, you know, um, and just figuring this thing out day by day. And so welcome again to Marketplace Ministry, where we're excited, you know, as God continues to do what he does, what he's already done. We just in agreement with it. And so, yeah, just recapping some things that needs to be recapped in the community, involvement, awareness. And we was talking about previous, we were talking about child support system, as opposed to, that's a part of community awareness because that's what's happening. And, like I said, our community has been crippled with all the negatives and all the dysfunctions. And, we're just trying to get back to being able to be functional, and not just addicts with it. Like they have functional addicts, they have functional. We want to be well. We want to be whole. So basically, that brings about healing. And so once the healing process takes place, then we can move forward and feel good about what we're moving forward in and to. And so family's a big thing of mine. Has always been, but I've always been. I always felt like, I was the one in my family that really, really, really wanted to do some things, but never had an opportunity, never took the opportunity to do it or say it. So now, my age now, as I get older and more wiser to what's going on in my life, I'm constantly thinking about family, constantly thinking about how close we should be and how close we need to be. And so that's why I believe God placed this Marketplace Ministry on me so heavy. My co-founder, Keith Henry, he helps me, figure out some things and what we need to figure out. He's a young man, as well as I am, an older man. So what we work good together, and we understand the work that we, grabbed onto. And so again, it's work. This is not play. This is not, we're not coming on here disgruntled or any anger. We're not dealing with any of that. We're dealing with peaceful, just conversation. We trying to help people move to the next level of their lives as we move forward. As God continue to put it on our hearts, we put it out on here. And so, a lot of times people don't like to have conversation about things, real talk. See, real talk is pretty much truth. It doesn't have to be vulgar, or doesn't have to be negativity to be real. You can talk about real stuff, but you have to be mature in a place where you can receive. And so I just thank God that I'm able to receive, and whatever he brings to me, I have to deal with it, because that's what leadership is about. When God brings it to you and he recognizes you as a leader, and then he places things on your heart, because he trusts you to get it out there in a way where they can receive it. Now, some is going to receive, some is not going to receive. Maybe it's not the time, but you still have to put it out there. You're responsible to put it out there, because the real tough stuff, the real hard lessons and conversations, leaders have to deal with that. Leaders have to be able to digest it first and feel good about the digestion, and then put it out there as you see fit. And so I'm honored for that. I'm thankful. I've been in leadership pretty much my whole life. Didn't really realize it. Even in my wrong, I was leading a pack, and leadership is leadership, whether it's right or wrong. I'm glad I'm on the other side of the fence now, which is the right thing. I'm leading in the right area now. Whereas before, when I was leading with Satan. He gave me some instructions, and I followed out his instructions, and it got me hurt. It got me almost killed many a times, and it involved almost other people. But now I'm leading for God, so now leading for God is just getting clarity and being able to lift people up, being able to lead by example and figure out life, you know, community awareness and, becoming parent partners and, understanding that the real test is your home, getting your home in order, because a lot of times we think that we have to go outside to prove things to everybody else out there. We want people to see that we are smart. We want people to know that we're intelligent. We want people to know we have money. We want people to know everything about our lives. And a lot of it is just based on God is really saying, let your family that's really going to reap the benefits from, they should reap first. And that's where I'm at with it. I want to have the positive attitude at home. I don't want to have to be angry at home and then go to work like everything is good and I have a positive attitude there, showing, and it's the front, walking around, yes, hey, good morning, how you doing? And you can't do that at home. That's a lie. And so that's what we have to stop. We have to want to be in a part of a family. We have to want to be inclusive to, growth and development. As we continue to grow, we have to want to be involved with each other. And that's what I'm working on. I'm working on my family structure. I'm working on me growing in my family, me just learning different things, as the more I walk and the more I through this journey of life, the more I'm continuing to learn. And I want to learn. I want to go to the next level in my maturity. You know what I mean? I don't want to stay just because I'm 55 years old. Don't mean that I can't grow. Don't mean that I can't, adhere to somebody's, whatever they have to tell me at my older age. I have not arrived. I don't know everything. And so this is what the community awareness is about. We have to understand that we don't know everything. And God sends people, even in your family, to tell you something you have to be able to receive. Even if you're wrong, you say you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay, because you don't know everything and you will not know everything. So I'm learning at the age of 55 that being wrong is okay. Not knowing it all is okay. Because too much is given, too much is required. Because when you think you know and you want to know everything, oh man, you're going to be messed up. I'm telling you. The stress will probably kill you. It's going to bust your brain. It's going to have you so twisted in your thinking. So I don't want to know everything. And I'm glad of that. I never did anyway. I come off sometimes like I know some things, and I do. I know what I know. But when it comes down to knowing everything, no, I don't know nothing. I'm going to stay in my lane as much as possible. But, as it comes to families, I don't think a lot of families don't even get to the level whereas they can communicate on a level to whereas they don't have to prove to one another who knows this and who has this and who don't have whatever. And I think that's what God is doing through this ministry here. He's trying to, help us to understand that it's okay. You don't have to own everything. You don't have to have, you just be solid in what you do and solid in what you say. You know what I mean? And so the bottom line is to the point where we have to get more, to the point where, we are not, we're transparent. And when you become transparent, then it's easy for people to receive from you because you're not trying to be that person that know everything, but you can communicate with each other. You can have dialogue. You know what I'm saying? You can just receive better, And so, I'm glad that God has placed me on this journey, marketplace ministry, because He sees fit, that He sees that I've grown, and He trusts that I'm going to give His people what they need, which is clarity. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, it's to the point where we have to move forward. My guest, getting ready to log them in right quick. What's going on, T? What's going on, T Perry? It's all good. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Man, everything, I'm blessed, man. How about
All
yourself?
right. Thank God, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm
Right.
good.
Yeah. So, just was talking about this, family stuff, man. Just this thing is heavy, man. But it's good.
Okay.
Introduce yourself, my brother.
I'm Dex, uh, from the other side of town where you from, uh, New York City, by way of I'm in Queens now, but by way of the Bronx and Harlem.
Right.
And I'm just coming on to support and to share,
Right.
with the brother. I met Ant, aka Chap,
Right.
about a month ago, through a great brother named Lou Sparks. And we've been in contact ever since. And we set this up, and so we can share, and and share and bless.
Right.
Um, you know, and that's it, man. I just came on to be supportive and to give and share and receive as well, whatever I can receive as well. So, but that's it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to have you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we talked, man, and first time we met, man, it was a blessing, hearing from another brother, life lessons, whatever. And we was in a situation where we was in a position where it was people probably dealing with things that we may have overcome before, but it was powerful that night that I met you. And then from then on, it just got better and better. When we talk on the phone, it's just more and more in depth.
Hmm.
And that's what we need. We need real people, man. We need real people, because real people do real things.
Absolutely.
And nowadays, I believe God is really promoting, He's prompting men to really step up to the plate, because I for me and the communities that I've grown up in, it's mainly a lot of women has been pushed in position to do so many things, and there's too much weight on them. And God is saying, you know what? That's what we was talking about last night on Instagram Live. Me and my co-founder Keith Henry, um, we was talking about how we have to be more responsible in our community, because I know I see it every day. It's men that's laying up in households, don't pay no bills. A woman, He gave man responsibility.
Hmm.
And so we have to get back to that. And I think this ministry is preferably, it's geared a lot to men, because the women, you can get some too, because the women be tapping in. But at the
Hmm.
end of the day, a lot of women tap in on here because they really tired of it too. And they really don't know how to help the men, because they're really trying to. But the men, we have to help each other. You know what I mean? We have to come together and say, yo, man, okay, I get it. That's why I'm on here a lot of times. I tell my story, because when I tell my story, you know what I mean, it opens up men. It's like being transparent. When the next man see you been through some things just like they have been through some things, and you humbled about it, then now that's when we can talk. That's
Hmm.
when we can say, wow, man, I'm not the only one that went through this hell. But how do and because we always go through hell and talk about hell, but how can we get delivered and get set free from that? So we can have a different mindset, and we can move forward, and we can start being strength in our households instead of being the weak piece.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because really, to me, the men, we're the foundation of the household. We're not, most men say, I'm the head of my household. Really, we are the foundation. That means everybody has to, it seems like we get trampled on, but God set us up a certain kind of way so we can carry weight.
Hmm.
We got to carry this weight. And I get it. I get it, because for many years, man, that weight, I didn't want the weight of a leader in my household. I didn't, yeah, I want to sleep with the woman. I want those benefits, You know, I want to say, oh, we married or we together, but do I want to make sure our financial stability is okay? Do I
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that, you know, I'm leading by example? Am I loving the way I'm supposed to love? You know what I mean? And so those things is all about manhood. And it's tough, man. It's tough. And my dad, he showed me how to do that in his way, you know, and then some things he didn't show me. And it was I'm not gonna say it was confusing, but my dad was just this stern. He had 8 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't play. It wasn't too much. He played with us periodically on Saturdays, some Saturdays when he was home. But for the most part, you couldn't even go to him and have a conversation
Right.
because he was disgruntled because he had to get out there and put 50 hours in a week. You know what I'm saying? And he had to make sure that the lights was paid, regardless of his wife. He had to make sure that, you know, it was food on the table, you know, because if it wasn't, it's on his neck. And so I believe that's what a lot of men feel. What do you think about that, Dex? Why do you think men feel so pressured?
Well, that too. I hear that, and I can agree with that. Um, I think it's still we're suffering from what we went through. I mean, we can go all the way back to the broken family back since slavery days, right? Um, what I found though is within my own self is that you gotta right. Let's go back. Let me say what my observation I observed. You got because it's with a Christian base, right?
Right,
We have um women uh that follow the Christian blueprint, if you will. Uh, and it's not only women. I guess a lot of us follow a Christian blueprint. But sometimes we take pieces that that go with our lifestyle, and we throw some of it out. We don't follow the whole blueprint or the way it was set up. Although we say we're believers, that in turn breaks down the structure of the family because you can't take bits and pieces of what the setup of how it's been ordained.
right,
Um, so I find that today, and I'm not gonna go all the way back and say, but because how can we move forward? The only way we can move forward is by acknowledging the full structure of the setup.
right,
And if the God set it up as you just said a few minutes ago, man first, and then the woman. That union came together first.
right,
So what I found is that oftentimes it appears to me that when the kids come on deck, um the priority, that structure is now broken. Oftentimes you see the kids come first before the union, the original union as it was structured and meant to be. In turn, it's weak, it's broken. And what happens is we get young men who are not prepared to take on households like that,
right,
you know, because the structure is broken. And as long as the structure is broken and we don't go by the blueprint, it's off and it will be off,
right,
you know. So I guess in the answer to that question posed, you know, I think we're not prepared, man. The reason why we're not prepared is because the structure is broken.
right, right,
And I'm just speaking to the Christian
right,
homes, right now. Um, and if there is no particular faith being observed, because all of the faiths actually acknowledge those particular structures um, of the man first, the woman, that particular union, and then the children. I mean, they might disagree, different faiths disagree on, who's supposed to be, it's a bunch of avenues to get to God. Some folk believe in this, some folk believe in that. People say Jesus, some Catholics, people, they say they recognize Mary. But at the end of the day, that particular structure, they still reverence the Bible and all of in the same story as the man first, and then the woman, and then the
Right.
children, to make the family. So I think it's broken, man, and which doesn't prepare our young men. It didn't prepare me, man. You know what I'm saying? My personal story, it didn't prepare me. I came from a one-parent home,
Right.
with the mother, and I found my way. You might find your way. Some of us find our way, you know, but it's a journey, man, and we don't all make it. Finding your way is tough, man. And in finding your way, yeah, you can be disgruntled, man, because you can wake up and realize you got a whole bunch of mouths to feed, and not the means to do it, and have to put in 50 hours or 2 jobs, or you know what I mean.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, maybe not this. You said disgruntled, maybe not disgruntled, but yeah, it's a challenge
Of course it
from
is.
when you first came in dating. First thing we was doing was dating. It was me and you, the man and the woman. And then you came in. Some brothers come, they take on other responsibilities too. They get with somebody, and they have children already, and you might have children that you have responsibilities on the outside as well, and you take on other responsibilities, and then you have your own children even with them, and it becomes more. So yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, and like I said, everybody has viewpoints, and what you were saying was 100% true because that's your experience and that's how you see it, and you're right. You know what I'm saying? There's really not a right and wrong. You know what I mean? That's what I was
Hmm.
getting at because it's about learning. It's
Hmm.
about growing. You know what I mean? And that's why I believe we need more male mentors. We need more, organizations that's coming together to, I mean, not one organization. This is what I see it in the communities in which I live, in which we live in society. You know, we don't come together good. We don't do that good. We have our ideas, we have our ideologies and our methodologies, and we keep them to ourselves. And instead of sharing like we're doing now I'm getting to understand how you think. You know what I mean? You're getting to see how I think. And so now if we need to come, I believe we have to come together more and say, you know what? Wow, man, that brother's on to something, man. I need to hear some more of that. Like,
Hmm.
I need to hear because I need to know what I need to be doing better. You know what I mean? Because there's always room for improvement. And we as black males, we have been cracked. That's the word I like to use because we've been broken in places where, okay, slavery, but I don't like to stay on that because I believe that was the origin of the breakdown. But at
That's
the
what I
end of
meant
the
too,
day,
because that was a loaded question. And
right,
that's why I said, we can go all the way back,
right.
and
But you
then
went there,
yeah,
and that was cool. And so,
right,
but the good thing, you didn't stay there.
right.
You see what I'm saying? Because now with all this, I'm just speaking on my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I didn't get hit with no whip. It's talking about me. I may have got the residuals from that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Through my
Absolutely.
dad. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
but when I came to Christ as I knew God, you know what I mean? My life started changing. So I couldn't hold on to that no more.
Mm-hmm.
That, oh well, whoop, this is what happened years ago. Woe is me. Oh, I can't. No, because every wrong that I got into in my life, every negative thing that happened in my life, it was my decision that I
Right.
made. You know what I mean? I went to prison. I used drugs. I sold drugs. I womanized. The devil didn't make me do that. Slavery didn't make me do that. From slavery, my mom and my dad, they were the closest one. My mom picked cotton in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I understand her disgruntled, her anger, because my mom she was so like raw with me. Out of all the kids in my family, she used to come to me and tell me different things. And I'm like, why is she telling me? Dang, why is she sounding like that? Like she needed for me to get it. I didn't know I was going to be in North Carolina in my older age, but she set me up. It's like she knew that I was probably, I don't know, but at the end of the day, now I understand. I see what goes on in society and how we're played on as the underdog. And we're not the underdogs. We are very intelligent people. We're strong, resilient people. You understand? But the bottom line is we got played against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the lie that through marketplace ministry, which is God has have me do. He said, nah, pick apart this lie. Pick apart this lie. Tell these men that they are honorable, that they are mighty, that they are humble, that they are vulnerable. Because we were afraid to be vulnerable. That's my thing. A lot of us be like, nah, I can't be vulnerable because I don't want nobody to think I'm a punk. Because we were taught we have to be so tough. We have to, you know, and so, you know, and we are tough, but it's ways. Tough means thugging it out when there's when you come together as a family unit. You know, what we was talking about last night, I was talking about the order. I was looking at this book some years ago. It was 50 billionaires. And all of them had quotes in this book. Oprah, Donald Trump, Madam C.J. Walker, the Wright brothers. You had all these billionaires. And there was one quote that stuck out to me among the others. And Walt Disney, he said, do not put business before your family. And that thing rung, it hit me in the gut because I understood what he was saying because I actually went through some things because a lot of times we work, we try to build wealth, we try to do this, we try to do that. But the order of God is God, family, education, and business. Without that order, I think that's what we were talking about. Things got broken. I think that cycle got broken. Because a lot of times God is not at the top, he's at the bottom. We only use God when we really need him, when we're hurting so bad. That's when we go to God like he's the lowest. And then the family structure. We don't really do family well. You know what I mean? We keep things from each other. I'm just telling you how I dealt with that, you know, opposed to what's going on, and it's still going on right now. And then, you know, a lot of times people put business before education. You cannot do that. Without being educated about your business, you will not run a good business. So it all ties into God, family, education, business. And if we break that cycle, man, when you break something, it's not going to be right until you fix it. Just like a bicycle. You get a flat tire, you get a slow leak. You keep riding on that slow leak, it's gonna go flat and it might mess up your whole rim. Now you, instead of getting just a inner tube, now you need a whole tire. So even with the family structure, you know what I mean? We got to be sensitive. And I'm saying talking to men because we have to learn how to be more sensitive. You know, and we can't be so macho and I got it all together because I witnessed this myself growing up. A lot of men die before women. And when I saw that, it bugged me. Right, it flipped me out because I said, and then I asked God, I said, well, God, why is men dying before women? He said, because y'all hold stress in. Y'all don't talk about it. You just hold it in. You go to bed crying. Nobody sees your cry because you don't let it out because you want to show the family that you tough. But being vulnerable is tough. Being vulnerable is real. Being vulnerable is powerful. Because it's letting you know Jesus, he wept. Now he wept. You know, you see what I'm saying? We can weep. It's okay for us to weep. I ain't saying that I was in jail. Now I wasn't weeping around them like that. No. But I heard many guys when I came from the yard, we lift weights and all that. We played ball. But when we got locked back in, yo, late at night, used to hear guys crying because they was sorry, they was weeping. But when the lights came on, they was like, yo, man, I'm this tough. I
Mm-hmm.
can't bear nothing. No nails can break me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so I believe we have to come to the realization that, you know what, man, I am broken. I am weak in some areas. You know what I mean? And even the women, they have such a hard time reaching us because either they got to be our mamas or our babysitters, whatever. We just have to learn how to man. And that's what God is pointing through this ministry, marketplace ministry, to help men grow up. Because I had to grow up. I was a baby. I went to two divorces, man. And I can't even blame the women. At first, I was putting all the blame on them until I grew up, until I had to really sit back and say, you know what? Dang, I whined through the whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
And no wonder there was no satisfaction. You know what I mean? Because God
Mm-hmm.
told me to lead it, not let it lead me. And so, and I
But
said
the
that to say,
preparation. So
yeah,
do you feel as if you were prepared
oh, no doubt. But
for that?
it could have took me out of here. And that's what God is saying, help these men so they don't have to go through. That's what this help is about. So a person don't have to, like everybody says, you know, well, I gotta go through this. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to go through it. My dad did what he did through in my household, so I wouldn't have to suffer and not be on point. He showed me responsibility. He gave me a work ethic. We couldn't be lazy in my house. You couldn't have no nasty, dirty clothes all over the place. He showed me, he taught us how to iron. He taught us how to sew. He taught us how to do different things. Not my mom, he did. So as far as I'm concerned, he did what he's supposed to do.
Right.
But I still blamed him when I messed up in the street. I didn't take responsibility. I didn't own up to my actions. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that's what us as men, I think we have to learn how to own up to where we went wrong at. It's okay to miss the mark.
Mm-hmm.
That's what God says. Dust yourself off, get up, keep it moving. You know what I mean? And
We
so
fall
it's
down, we get up.
right, right. And but you have to feel good about falling down. You have to feel good because you fell down because something went wrong. And instead of trying to figure it all out, like what went wrong? Where did I mess up at? It just happened. You up again. So keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Keep it moving. And so I believe we have to be around like minds, people that's already been through different things and now they understand. Like I'm hanging around, I'm more around people, like I work at the methadone clinic. Boy, it is crazy up there, but that's my training.
Mm-hmm.
That's my training. Because I said, God, this is ridiculous up here, man. But he said, you have to be there because he said the meek will inherit the earth. And you're not there yet. You're not there yet. Because I still will cut your head off if you come at me wrong. So God says, no, no, no. You need to stay in that fire so things can get burnt off for you. You know what I mean? And so I thank God for being responsible and taking ownership of who I am so that I can help the next person. Because if you can't help yourself, man, you ain't leading nobody. You leading them to hell. That's where you leading them. But that's where you headed because you self-righteous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I thank God for being able to listen, getting the word of God as I know who God is. It teaches me, and it's just helping me man up in some areas. At one time, brother, I didn't want to pay no bills. When I first got married, oh my God. And it was more kids, it was other kids already there. Man, I saw them bills. I was like, man, I got to give up my whole check. You know what I mean? Dang, I got to get hold up, my whole check? Really? Like, I can't buy them J's? You see what I'm saying? That was that boy
Yeah.
mentality. I
Yeah.
entered into agreement. The woman was already in. See, this is the thing is the women is already in. The women is already settled. They like, yo, let's do this. They hoping that the man is a man and not a boy. So I think that's where the breakdown comes in at too. A lot of men, we have men bodies, but we think like boys. We think like,
Right.
nah, man. Yo,
So
you know, I can't club this weekend. Or I can't go hang out with my boys. When you make that decision to get married, not saying you have to shut everything down, but you have to be responsible to where the house is not suffering. And I caused my house to suffer. And I did. It was just what it was. And I caught hell, literally hell, till we split. And once that split came, oh my God, it split the kids, it split everybody. Everybody got hit. Because the man is responsible. That's what happened to Adam. God says man should not be alone. Because Adam was whining in the garden, doing his thing. And then God laid him down, pulled Eve from his rib. Boom. He said, subdue, replenish, and multiply. Adam couldn't handle that pressure. Adam kept following God in the garden. Lord, where you at? He said, man, I gave you a woman. Spend time with her. Stop spending time. You spend enough time with me. Spend time with your better half, because you're going to need her. You're going to need to talk to her. It's some things you ain't going to be able to come at me with because I gave you the woman. And we don't be understanding that. And then we get angry and then come at the woman, not to the woman. You know what I'm saying? And then once they get cold, you finished. Your situation is busted. You if the woman gets cold, boy, you something happening. And so that's what this, marketplace ministry is about. It's about us uplifting one another.
You're breaking the chain. You're doing something, being proactive to break that chain.
Right.
And that's what we need. We need that.
And it feels good. I don't feel pressured. I'm just getting like-minded men, such as yourself, such as my man Terrence, 60 on here. He's doing a great, powerful work.
Okay.
In the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? And we know we got to get together, but this is how we got to come. God is saying, I believe we're hit masters.
What's up, brother Terrence?
Right.
All right.
Yeah. No doubt. I believe we're hit masters, man, because God is sending his people. He's raising up his people now, man, because you never know what's getting ready to hit next. We already had the pandemic. We had this social injustice stuff going on. It's murders and it's killing. I'm in these streets, man. I'm in these streets heavy. I'm like, listen, I met this brother at my job, right? I got my line, kingdomwearstore.com. I got my t-shirts on there and it's speaking to what we're talking about. He's a homie. He's blood. He's over massive young boys, right? You know what he told me today? He said, Chap. He said, Chap, I like your style. He bought some shirts for me. He said, I need like 30 more. He said, because I got these youngins in the hood. They can't even walk across the street without me. I was like, wow. You leading them like that? First thing came to my mind, I said, God, we got to get them. We got to get him. So I'm going through with the t-shirts now. So now he want t-shirts. What's going on, T? How you? We want t-shirts because I want to help these young men out. And God hit me. He said, and I said, Lord, because I've been asking God, I said, Lord, how can we reach these guys in the community?
So the particular t-shirt he asking for, what does it say?
The one I gave, which one was it?
I'm curious what caught his eye like that.
Change ain't change until you change. That one. Change ain't change until you change. Not the Y-O-U, but the U on it. You know what I'm saying? And then the one I believe I brought to New York was who sins with you. Who sins with you will sin against you. You know what I mean? And so, so he caught eye to it because I've been wearing my t-shirts at work. And so he was like, he put me to the side. He said, I got some youngins, man. They follow me. And I said, I see how you move. I see how you move here. I said, how can we? And God already placed in my spirit, we have to bring something different to these young people, man, these young boys. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go to them saying, praise God. Man, they don't want to hear that. You know why?
Everybody don't receive all that.
Right, because first of all, they don't see nothing happening in the churches.
Right.
Because their community is still out of control.
Right.
So, you know, and a lot of churches don't let you partner up with them to go out, and they don't know how to go out in them streets because something you can toting Bibles, man. You got to have that word in your heart. You got to
Yeah.
love on like Jesus did. He loved on the people in the community.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He went and hugged on them. He went and he didn't tell them scriptures. He showed them the scripture.
That's right.
Who he was. And so that's what we have to do. And you know, I'm connecting with people, and I'm telling you, one of the things God told me to do is to get men that's economically empowered
Mm-hmm.
so we can give these guys some jobs. But don't give them $7 an hour. They ain't taking that. Why they got? What you think they're gonna stop selling drugs? That ain't gonna push them to the next situation.
Yeah.
You know, start coming with some things that we can empower them
Yeah.
with. They can earn some money. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how we got to go. We got to go out there. We can't talk about it. We got to be about it. And so that's what this ministry is about. Hitting grassroots, hitting out there in them streets, saying, you know what? This is what we have to do. You know what I mean? Because I know the hurt. I was in them streets. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, there used to be guys coming out there preaching, you understand? But they wasn't reaching people. Preaching and reaching people is two different things. You know what I'm saying? We have to reach these people. We have to touch their heart because they hurting. They hurting. That's why they doing what they doing in the street. Nipsey Hussle said something. I was watching a cover on him. Nipsey Hussle said, he said, when he gang banged, he said they didn't go after the ones that was indifferent from them or the ones that was in different cultures. They went after the ones who looked like them, who acted like them. And that's what we got to stop doing, because if you're strong, I shouldn't want to kill you. I should want to connect with you so we can do what we need to do in our community. But that's the mindset that they got. You get commands. Satan is commanding them.
Yeah.
Satan is doing his job. He's got a demand. He's ordained to do his job. So we as God believers, we have to be ordained to do our job. And that means to eradicate sin. You know what I mean? As we see fit. That's why we go through things in life, so we can help them. That's the only reason why God allowed you to. Why you think he allowed the Apostle Paul to be a serial killer? He could have been shut Paul down, Saul. He said no, because he has purpose. Because I know once I help him clean up, once I push him to that edge, he's gonna have to do one or two things: get it right, or he's out of here. He wrote most of the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? And they feared Paul, even the disciples.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They feared, even he was doing right now. They was like, man, I remember, man. That's why a lot of times God allowed us to go through things, because people, you're gonna have authority. When I go on those streets now, I have authority, man. I didn't know it. I thought, I didn't, but it's not nothing to brag because it's God doing this thing. But I have authority because of not me being bad and I overcame. I'm humble because I don't want them to die. I don't want them to leave kids. I don't want them to leave widows. You see what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So it's a mandate on this ministry. Ministry, you know what I'm saying? Marketplace ministry is a mandate. This ain't getting on social media, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I can go to bed and get up and go to work in the morning, and do my due diligence. But this is due diligence right here.
I'm on Instagram. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, but this Instagram is so powerful, man. Like, we getting ready to switch over to this podcast. You feel what I'm saying? We get ready to switch over to this podcast, and so that way we can have multiple people talking about the same thing. Because I want to hear other people's views, you know what I mean, on what's going on in the community. What do you think about that, man? Because I know you starting your ministry. God is hitting you in your heart to start your ministry, and I'm honored to even have you on tonight.
Thank you, sir. I'm honored to be on, man. I'm honored to be on.
Yeah,
Well, I think that's great. I think it's you can get more feedback, I guess, in that particular setting, podcast setting.
Right.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for you because that'll open up. I want to say you can reach more. You can get more input. More bodies on at the same time, simultaneously. So I think that's great, man. I mean, it's building. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So you're moving from one thing to the next, and I mean, you putting in work, man. I mean, you going 7 days a week. That's work.
Yo, that's different.
You know what I
That's
mean?
different. That's
That's
something
work.
that, but that's my you know how we have things that we like. I'm excessive, but I'd rather be excessive in doing good. You know what I'm saying? So 7 days to me is really nothing. I'm
Right.
putting out an hour, 2 hours a night, and I work 8-hour shifts
Right.
in a hell camp. I'll
Yeah.
be coming home, I'll be wiped out, man.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the reality of, like you speaking about men. We men
Right,
of a
right.
certain
It's
age,
a mandate.
and you
It's
going in right. So you
energy.
see it as nothing because you it's been put on you by God to
Right,
put it out like that. I'm talking from the outside looking in, knowing what ministry is about. No one got to go up and go to work, and no one, the kids and gotta reach out and talk on the phone. I got one that's outside of the home too,
right,
and you got that's time. You gotta take a
right.
few minutes. They call at 45 minutes, an hour. That's time. So yeah,
You know,
relationships, and so
right.
that's a dedication. That's work. You putting in
But you
work.
know what? You have to have structure. I've learned at a younger age to have structure. I've worked on jobs. I've did things. I have a nonprofit, so I'm time management.
Mm-hmm.
I manage my time pretty well.
Right.
Well, you
Well,
know
that's
what
the
I
only way
mean?
you can do it.
Right, right. I'm in the
And
bed
that's
early.
commitment. That's
I'm like
commitment
I'm like them
to.
old people. I'm in the bed early. Like I'm up early. I go to bed early. Like real talk. And they be like, yo, how do you be doing all that, man? How you find time to get rest? You don't even understand. I shut it down. My wife would tell you, we could be watching a movie. And if it's impeding on my time, my rest, if I'm tired, I'll catch that movie another time. Listen, we can catch that another
That's
time.
right. That's right.
So I just need to lay down.
Yeah, I
So
do
I,
that too.
I have
I know
mastered,
exactly what you're talking about.
right.
They
In
be laughing
prison,
at me, man. My kids be
right, right,
laughing at me. Yeah,
right,
oh, you going to bed? Yeah,
right,
I'm going to bed.
right,
Yeah.
right. And the bottom line is, man, is, I got a lot of training. Prison. I went to prison. I did 15 years of my life in prison. So at the end of the day, man, you had to be in the bed early.
Right.
You couldn't staying up all night. Why would you
I was
stay up all night?
structured. Yeah.
Right. So all that training kicked in, and that's what God allowed me to go through. So now, this time now, it's like, wow. And that's what I tell men when they come home from prison. When I'm in the prison, I'm letting them know. I said, man, let me tell y'all something. Y'all are ahead of the game. Believe it or not. Most people out in the street ain't resting. They work. They got to be handle responsibilities. Y'all in here getting y'all rest. Y'all drink plenty of water. Y'all exercising. I said, man, y'all, you know what you can do when you out there, when you get back out there in them streets? Man, you can be successful. If
Mm-hmm.
you bring some of that good worth, that's what I did in prison. I brought some of that home. I brought what I thought would work for me home. I said, wow, if I can master getting up in the morning, because they go programs in there too. I said,
Mm-hmm.
if I can master that and do that consistently, constantly, man, I'm going to be good. And it took me a little while, but man, I'm good. My body, I feel good in my body. I'm thinking clear because I try to stay in God's face as I know him through my ministry. I have to stay fortified. I have to stay replenished. I have to cry out. I have to do all that stuff because you can't handle life without it. Can't handle life without going to God.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms 91. He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the powers and the shadows of the Almighty. You have to stay in God's face. That's my secret. Staying in God's, and there ain't no secret. I don't have a secret. I'm telling you what you must do to stay fortified, to stay built up, stay encouraged. I encourage myself. I prophesy to myself. I don't need nobody prophesying to me. Listen. You can't. I'm just. If you give me a word, listen, God bless you, but I'm going to check behind that word you give me. You know what I'm saying? Because if you give me a word, all it is, it should be confirmation to me because I'm in God's presence. So
Mm-hmm.
what you're telling me should add on to what I'm already doing because it's confirmation now. Because I done heard from God already. Don't know everything, don't want to know everything, but I need to be around people that's willing to give of themselves. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a selfish brother. I give. Such as I have, such as I give. You know what I mean? And I think that's what we have to own up to in our communities. We have to have more community giants like that. Men, I'm saying. The women are there already. And I'm not saying they're perfect, but they're already there in a lot of areas. It's us men that has to carry the weight better. You know what I mean? And we have to help one another to carry that weight better, starting in our households. You know? Now, I mean, at one time in my marriage, you couldn't really talk to me because I was mad. I was angry. I was mad at myself for getting into a situation I didn't even know nothing about. So now, through all that trial and error,
What situation was that?
man, the responsibility side of it.
Right.
I thought I wanted it. I ain't wanted it at
Right.
that time. I still wanted to rip and run.
Right.
But I'm locked into a serious situation. And then when I locked in, I didn't know what I locked into.
Right.
I was like, man, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This ain't what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. So play got serious.
Play
You was
got
playing and it got
you had to get the
serious.
play out of there.
Right.
It had to be more responsibility than play.
Mm-hmm.
Play comes time when you go on vacation. But then after that, you had to set yourself up for vacation.
Right.
If you go on vacation without letting your boss know you ain't got no time, you might not have a job when you come back. So you had to plan things accordingly to that. So I wasn't ready for that because I was used to hustling. I ain't had to go no work. What? Go to
Mm-hmm.
work? Man, I am working. So now it's a different situation now. When you're working for somebody, you structure differently. You on their time. Now you had to worry about, okay, I want to have fun. How can I have fun now? Do I just take off and don't tell my boss or you know how most people lie and say, yo, I got to go to the doctors and I don't feel good today.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go do your little thing. You know what I'm saying? But now maturity helped me come out of that. It's like, okay, boom, I got so much vacation time to it's pathetic. But it's all because when I want to play, I'm going to play hard because I work hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And God, his reward for us, I believe, is keep going. That's God's reward. He was like, keep going. If you do the things that I'm telling you to do, then I'm going to reward you as such. And we looking for money and materials for our reward. No, that's something that we have to get. The reward from God is peace. He'll add his super on your natural ability. So that way you can be good with yourself. You know, I sit home and listen, when I get off work, man, I come home and look at the house. If whatever I think is needed, the dishes need, whatever I need to do, and I could just chill, man. And I'm just so peaceful, man. And I'm like, wow, thank you, God. I'm just thanking God for allowing me to come through from work today, helping me get from point A to point B without getting into an accident.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so that's where my mind be at. My mind is on my community. That's where my mind is at all the time, on my community, because I'm tired of seeing what's around me not good. You know what I mean? And so I work on my own household so that way I can be structured enough to give them some of what I'm doing, share with them of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? This is what I do. You know, how can we make this work in our community? Because these young guys, man, I can't get mad at them. I used to be them. You know what I mean? So all I can do is say, Lord, give me a way, connect me with some powerful men, some men that get it, some men that's not selfish, and let's go help our community. That's the only way it's going to get help because we got to help them heal. They're hurting. No fathers in the picture. Mama's on drugs. They on drugs. 2 and 3 baby mamas. You see what I'm saying? That's hardship, man. That's a hardship right there. You know, we don't own too much. We
Yeah.
rent.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And then when the
yeah,
man, you go to man, you work hard on the job, you can't even, your credit score is 3 point something, you can't get a piece of bubble gum on credit. That's hurtful. But we do it to ourselves because we don't pay attention. And we don't have enough people teaching us financial literacy. They got Google. They don't Google stuff like that. They Google foolishness. You know what I mean? And so we have the ones that's learning and the one that's in kingdom minded. We have to help them. We have to offer them programs. We have to set up structures for them to come and partake of. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. I'm around people that's doing bigger and better things than me. I'm excited to be a student. When I go when they teach me stuff, like my wife, no lie, man. My wife, whew, man, she don't think it a lot of times, but I learn a lot from her. I give her a lot of stuff sometimes, but I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm learning some things because what she does, man, is phenomenal, man. It's like what she does for people to build even her business, her ministry. You know what I mean? We actually getting ready to do some things together now. You know what I mean?
Okay,
And I think it's gonna be so powerful because God is using us because we community. We're about our community. Because without unity in your household first, you can't have unity outside. And people, I think they got it twisted. They get it backwards. They go out to church, they go out to work, they show everybody that they can do good. Oh, they're praising God. But what are you doing at home? Are you doing that same? Are you powerful like that at home? As I see you in the street, wow, you this, that, you're articulate. But what are you doing at home? That's what God is saying. Get your house in order. Is your house in order?
that's a
Because
fact.
God don't care nothing about that outside. He want the inside. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And so, right, right. It's time, man. It's just time, my brother. It's just time, you know. I don't want to take up all the time and talking and all that, but you know, this is what it is. This is what it is. Because right now you pulling for me. I can feel your pull. I can feel your pull. I'm pulling from you. I'm like, yo, bro, this ain't just get on Instagram and yo, let's kick the bobo. Nah, you
Yeah,
know that. I can sense who you are, bro. I know you trying to invoke change. That's what I'm about. Invoking change.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because we need to be tired of our community the way that it is. I'm tired of going outside. We smoke everywhere. You can't even go out your own house. Nobody's speaking to one another. Every looking at you like they want to bust you upside your head and take your money. And I'm like, wow. One young boy said, yo, young man, what's the problem? Do you have a problem? What's going on? He looked at me, he's like, nah, OT. They call me Unc. Down here in the South, they call you, if they call you Unc. He's like, nah, Unc. Nah, man, I'm just sitting down here, man. I'm stressed out right now. You know? But I had to go over to start the conversation with him, though. You
Hmm.
know, because all that looking, staring me down like you're going to do me something, I come from that era. I was a Tasmanian devil in them streets when I was out there. I was ruthless out there. So that part didn't kick in. The part kicked in for me to humble myself and go say something to him to make sense of what's going on. Like, because some people, all they need, some people to ask you is what's wrong? You all right? What's good? You know, we don't even knock on people's doors no more, see if they're hungry. They might not have a piece of bread. They might, if God empowers us financially, economically, we have to be discerners. And I'm gonna tell you this, and bro, and I'm gonna get off here and let you come back in. But I appreciate your ear. But the pastor in New York, I went to the church, right? He mentored me, right? Powerful man of God. And he said, what I'm doing for you, you're going to be doing for others down the line. I'm mentoring you right now is because you're going to be mentoring others. He said, take a ride with me. So we jump in the car, boom, 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 jump in his whip. So we go to this mother's house to go to our church. I know Mother Aaron. We went to her house. So I wasn't going to sit in no car because I'm like curious of where are we going? So I got out. He took his briefcase, boom. He went to knocked on the door. She opened the door. He's like, hey, mother. Hey, mother. How you doing? And She said, hey, Pastor, I'm doing well. He said, Mother, you know what? Hold on for a second. Reached in his briefcase. He gave her $100 bill. Just use that. It could have been a 20, whatever. But he gave her $100 bill. She just broke down crying. Oh, my God. I was just praying to the Lord. I just got up off my knees. Was asking God, Lord, where I'm going to get money? I don't have money for my insulin. When I saw that, I said, that's what I want to do, Lord. I want to do what he's doing. I want to bless people. I want to be blessed to be a blessing. He just earned that. He just walked. She didn't call him. He just had a note. So let me go visit Mother Aaron. Went over to her, knocked on the door. She broke down crying. Oh, Pastor, I was just praising God and praying to God. I don't have money to get my insulin. He said, now you do, Mother. He gave it to her before she told him that. Yo, that thing tore me up, man. But in a good way. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, Lord, I want to do that. I want to be a blessing to my community. That's what we're supposed to be, man. We have to have some type of purpose where we want to help others. But you have to be able to help yourself too. You know what I mean? He was in a position where he was doing for himself and his family. So that's why God ordained him for that level. You know what I mean? I don't think God will even place that on your heart if you ain't doing for you. Because you can't be effective if you ain't effective for yourself. You can't. There's no way. You know what I mean? So yeah, brother. So yeah, you good? You got some technical things going on? Buffering. We are the elders of the community. It's our time to lead and serve. You there? Yeah, T. Yeah. You there, my brother? But yeah, T, yeah, we have to serve, man. It's a little technical difficulty my man having. He should be back on soon. Let me know when you get on, Dex. But yeah, that's what we have to do, man. We have to come together. You there, Dex? I know that social media, man, it happens. It happens at times, but you working it out. But yeah, T, I'm glad you tapping in. You tapped in. We really appreciate, you coming on, listening and tapping into what we got going on. We need to get together and come together as one body so we can make some moves, and it's grassroots or you doing the work already. So, Dex, you might have to go out and come back in. You can't hear? Go back out. Yeah. But yeah, again, this is what is going on. Us as men, we trying to really cover some ground. We trying to really get this thing popping. Like we need to help each other out and make some things happen. And this is a start. This is the start of a beginning of men coming together and building our communities. So that way for the betterment of others. We got a lot of strong men, young men, and we have to honor them as well. They got voices. We need to hear those voices, but positive voices. You know what I'm saying? So you back on?
Yeah. Call King through and knock my Bluetooth out.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean, it happens. I mean, I already know. I didn't went through that, but it's all good. You back on. But yeah, that's what we have to do, man. My brother here, Terrence, he does a lot of community stuff as well. I met him down in the Carolinas, you know, when I first moved here, and he played a major part in my life. You know what I'm saying? He actually helped me get my first job down here. You
Okay.
know, right. We was in the group home together. You know what I'm saying? And but at the end of the day, man, we have to really come together and blow something up. We have to blow our communities up, man. And you know, with all what's going on, even in the pandemic and all this stuff, man, yo, God is blessing, man, because He's been blessing all through this pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just beat, you know, I didn't miss a beat in this pandemic, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't miss a beat, man. I thank God for it. You know,
Yeah.
I've been on the grind. I've been working. I was an essential worker. You know what I'm saying? And plus I've been doing my ministry. I've locked in. I've been locking in. Because when the smoke cleared, God wanted to see who was in preparation. That's who He gonna exalt. You know what I mean? The ones that was in preparation, because it's a mandate for souls. This is about souls, man. Marketplace Ministry is about directing souls to Christ. And then we talk about community awareness and all that good stuff. But ultimately, we directing people to Christ, preferably men, because I believe we have to be the heads of our households. We have to lead by example.
Yeah. That's what
And
we got in common.
right,
Preferably men.
right, right. And I love, because I know I'm a man. It took me. I'm 55 years old, man. Listen, I didn't start becoming a man until I was in my late 30s, like 38 to be exact. That's not good, because by then I already had babies. You know what I'm saying? I already had babies. I done already made crazy mistakes in the relationships, because I didn't actually. I thought I knew what I was doing, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to hear from somebody that did know what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I was stubborn. But now, that's where more problems came about. Being stubborn. Now I ain't stubborn no more. I ain't stubborn no more, man. I'm like, man, okay, all right. So I see a brother doing well. I'm like, I'm the type brother. I say, yo, listen, yo, how you moving like that? Because I want to move like that. I want to be
Mm-hmm.
successful. How are you being successful? I'm going to ask those questions. You know, that's why when I go to trainings, I got my pen and my pad. I take notes and I apply stuff. You know, I apply something. If it worked for you, it can work for me. I just got to work it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just show me how, teach me how. And that's as men, we got to start doing that. You know what I mean? Got to start reaching out to each other, you know, not being passive, and, you know, let's go, man. Cause we need help. We all need help, man. And God wouldn't have us to set these things up like this if He didn't want us to get help. Nah, you know, because how can you love God who you say you can't see? And our brother, I'm looking at you, I'm my brother's keeper. So why are we talking? Why are we figuring this thing out together? You know what I mean? And so, but yeah, man, that's what Marketplace Ministry is about, man. And you know, as God continue to work with you, as you continue to tap in to what you're doing, you know, whatever I can do to help your ministry grow, I'm here with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter, because I know God is empowering me in some areas to do that, you know, and I'm willing to do it, and I'm able.
Yeah. Well,
So
you already encouraged me, man, by doing what you doing. You know, it's, like I said, man, it's that's commitment, man. It's work. You putting in work, and you gotta have courage to step out and do that too.
right,
You know, because God can give you something. A lot of people don't act on it though. You know,
right,
'cause they don't have the courage. You
right.
know, to step out there and do it. So, but yeah, you already sold into it, man. I'm still waiting on my book. I got to get with Sparks to get my book. You
Yeah,
know.
we was just talking, man. We was just talking. He said he was gonna try to visit you this past weekend, but I guess it didn't
Yeah, I'm gonna
happen.
catch up with him. I'm gonna catch up with him. I'm gonna try to catch up with him this weekend.
Right. Okay.
And
That's what he said. We
yeah,
was talking about that the other day,
yeah.
you know. But
So yeah, you already sold in. It's a blessing already, man. It's the beginning. I'm excited. I'm
right,
excited. I'm
right.
excited, man. So
And
you give me the courage.
I don't know exactly when they got this pandemic stuff going on, and now they making people 2 weeks quarantine, you know, because the numbers are shot up really crazy right now. I'm trying to slide back to New York. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Right,
Looking forward to meeting you too, Terrence. Nice meeting you too, brother.
right, right, right. And so yeah, we and me and his brother, man. He been moving, man. He been doing a lot of things, man. We've been connecting, but he's doing some things. I'm doing some things, but now we're gonna intentionally come together. T. We're gonna intentionally make this happen because two heads is better than one. You know what I
Okay.
mean? God says one to put 10,000 to flight, 10,000
Facts.
humans, and then two can, man. It's time, man. It's time. Satan needs to fear us. You know what I'm saying? He needs to know that we coming for God's people, man. We ambassadors, and that's how we got to move, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fearless, not fearful. You know, and I'm
Yeah.
listen, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for it, man, because God is ready to release. You know, he's ready to put new wine in old wineskins. You know, but you got to get rid of them old wineskins first before he can dump in the new wine. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's where it's at right now. And that's just keeping fresh with God. Dumping. I dump. Listen, you know what I mean? Right, my brother. I dump, man, on purpose, man. That's why I'm moving around so light at 285 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm moving like, yo, I'm light, man, because I release. I'm like, Lord, listen, I'm done. As God says, cast all your cares onto him, for he cares.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever cares I take from the world, I give it to God. I don't hold that mess on me. Nah. Family stuff, I don't hold that on me. I go right to my Father. Like, Lord, here, you said give it up. I'm giving it up. I need to be light when I'm moving out here. I don't need to be heavy moving out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have to learn how to do. Cast all our cares unto God, for he cares. But I take a lot of burdens. Man. But Jesus said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give that stuff to the Lord. Like boom, boom, boom. I'm in a place right now, the methadone clinic, man. Whew, man. I mean, it is real. I ain't never seen it like that before sober. You see what I'm saying? I've seen it before when I wasn't sober, but now being sober,
Mm-hmm.
I have to be vigilant. You know what I mean? And I'm praying. As I touch people, as I shake people, you know, I'm praying. I'm praying for them, man. I'm asking God to, boom, don't let them sleep. Put some fire up under their tail. Oh, I'm in there. I'm ministering all day and be aggravated some days.
You know,
No,
I've never been in one of them. It's funny because I feel an attachment and some knowledge about it, but I've never been inside one. Growing up as
right,
a kid, our church on 125th Street home,
right.
right next door to us was a method. 2 doors down was a methadone clinic.
Wow,
So I was so familiar with you know, with the addicts out there because they would be out there you know, nodding out and everything, man. It was
right,
regular on
right,
125th Street, you know. And because that clinic was there, a lot they flocked in front of the building and in the
right.
vicinity. So you know, we saw that. I saw that a lot, man. Nod, you know, as a kid, I used to always stare. You know, you see them, they would nod, man, and you know, somehow, some way, man, they never would fall down or whatever. You know, you see their hands was fat, and puffy from the you know, the needles and all that, and their
Right.
sores, and you know, so but I never been inside, man. You know, and I just realized that just now. Though, every time you say methadone clinic, that memory comes back to me of on 125th. You know, them nodding and
Right,
their
right.
hands were so
Listen,
puffy, man, and sores on their hands from. But I
and
never been in there, man. So I don't know what that's, you know, what that's like. What actually goes on in there? They have a program or
yeah, well, they get dosed. They take methadone so that way they won't shoot heroin. It's like a substitute. Man,
right,
it's a legal drug ring.
right,
That's what it is. You know, the
right,
government is making money off their demise because it's really not helping them. You know what I'm saying? Because they still use drugs, and it's opioids. The opioid thing is really crazy with it. A lot of them just not on methadone. They taking opioids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Pills, because a lot of them get strung out on Xanax and Percocets and all that stuff. But I'm saying I used to drive a cab in New York when I lived in New York for 12 years. And one of my clients was going to the methadone clinic. I took her to the methadone clinic for like 6 years. But I never knew what was going on the inside. I sold dope before, so I knew what it was. I sniffed dope before I knew what it was. I just never
Right.
shot dope. I never was strung out on that like that. But
Right.
it flipped me out because I took a female there for years, a client. Now I'm working in one.
Right.
So to see it every day, hand on, man, yo, it's crazy. And there's people that's homeless on this stuff.
Right.
They coming out
Young,
of the
young
woods.
people too.
Yeah. They 19, 17, 18 years old, strung out.
Wow.
Strung out, man. And I know my journey took me towards that clinic. And I'm saying, Lord, boom. He's saying, and God told me the first will be last and the last shall be first. He said that to me. So he's got to be talking about that place. You know what I mean? Because he's going to use a lot of those people. I know that. I know that for sure. You know, because I believe once, just like I was an addict, once I came up out of that situation, I'm no more an addict. I don't go to rooms and say, I'm an addict. Nah, I don't claim that. But the bottom line is, God uses people like that because they really gonna help people. They don't want to see the next person on that stuff because of what they've been through, what happened in their life. You know what I mean? And so that's who God uses. He uses people to go back. I used drugs before. I sold drugs, so it's not a coincidence that I'm working in a methadone clinic, that I was kin to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the bottom line is, hey, they go through the same motions, man. Nod now, or some come with needles in their arm, man. Blood coming out their arm, man. That's not a place to be. But I'm right in it, speaking the language, talking to, mentoring them, trying to encourage them. Because my job is I'm a site monitor, peer support specialist, site monitor, meaning that I have a substance abuse background, I have certification in that area, med administration. I got all them credentials up under me. You know what I mean? And so I know what it's like firsthand, but I'm trained in those areas. We have to have Narcans in our cars. So if somebody OD, we have to go shoot that stuff up their nose and revive them. You see what I'm saying? So I've been on the front line since this pandemic, man. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing, but I get up running to the job. I'm like, Lord, who you gonna send me to today? I don't go to work mad and angry. I go singing gospel in my car, be praising God in my car, because I gotta be equipped before I get there. Because they need to see me healthy and strong. You know what I mean? And with God in me, so they can grab something from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the purpose of why I do that every single day. You know what I'm saying? If the money's all right, but man, listen, you can't pay me enough money listen, that's hurtful to see people in
Right.
that situation. You know what I mean? But somebody has to do the job. And yeah, man, I'm excited about what God is doing, man, with this, especially with Marketplace Ministry, man. He's taking this ministry to another level, and he's moving it quick, because God know I ain't playing with it. I'm not playing with it. He know I'm after souls. I don't chase money. Money chasing me. I ain't about that. I used to be about that. Nah, I'm off of that. You know what I'm saying? I understand now what my inheritance really is. Inheritance ain't what you get, is who you become. And I want to be a blessing to people. You know what I mean? I don't know who I may help, but I'm out here to do my job and be a servant, to the body of Christ. And that means the world. Jesus was in the world, man. Jesus spoke in 2 synagogues, man, in the whole Bible, his whole 33 years that he was on this earth. Everything else, he was in them streets. He's in them streets. So what does that tell you? We spending too much time inside the church. And we are the church. So we need to be outside, loving on people, blessing people, encouraging people, empowering people. We don't need to be praising God every Sunday, all Sunday, just running and doing this and falling out. And for what? For what, man? That don't even make sense no more to me, man. Now that I really know who God is for real, that don't even make sense. Now, the Bible says, do not forsake the assembly because it's strength in numbers. But, man, most of your time need to be outside in them streets, man, where people are crying out. You know what I'm saying? Because you see the same people in church every Sunday. You know, but the ones out in the streets, oh, they coming out of the woods. They done been up all night. They about to commit suicide or about to murder somebody. Those are the ones who God wants us to touch. You know what I mean? The ones in the church, man, come on. It's already a hospital. We already know that. They there. But the ones that need to come to Christ, and as a chaplain, bro, you know what I do? I don't introduce them to a building. I introduce them to the Word of God. I tell them to start reading the Bible for yourself. I can't tell you nothing else. Here, read this Bible. It's like, nah, I read. Well, read this. That's what I do. Read the Word of God, and then boom, watch him work. Watch him work in your life. So that's the message right there, man. That's the message. And so this is what it is, man. This is what it is. I've been on here for the last 10 months, man. I've been on Instagram Live almost seven days a week.
Wow.
I got 80 videos. What's wilding out, man? An hour going. We be going 2 hours. Like I'm past an hour right now.
Oh, okay.
But what it don't even feel like it, right?
Nah.
Right.
Nah. I know I came in after just about 8. I logged on after 8. So yeah.
Right. But it's 9:21.
Right.
And Instagram and how Instagram work, they cut you off for the hour.
Oh, okay.
But because see, I know the game, but because they feel I'm putting volume on here and I'm getting people on here, boom, it's working for them, so they giving me more time. You see what I'm saying? That's how it works. Algorithms or whatever. They saying, whoa, he's been on here for almost a year. He's been going hard. He's spending time on here, so maybe he's gonna funnel people through this channel. And that's how it works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because this consistently. My co-founder, he be tripping. He be like, yo, Chap, man, you going in, Chap. He's like, yo, we was talking there. He said, man, I don't know how you do it, Chap. I said, what do you mean? This is what I'm called to do. Anything that comes easy to you, man, that's your purpose.
Yeah.
That's your call. You know what I mean? I could talk, man. I've been talking slickness for years, but I just transferred it over. I've been stealing with my mouth for years, man. So now I ain't stealing no more. I'm honest now. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, the gift is still there. He's not going to give you a gift. God don't give you a gift and take it away.
Yeah. Same gift, you just use it for the purpose now.
Right. He'll let you get in trouble. He'll let you get in trouble now because he knows you got to do better. But he'll let you rock that gift because he gave it to you. He don't snatch. He's not an Indian. He don't take gifts back. He gives us gifts and talents. But you got to understand your purpose. You got to know his purpose before, you do your purpose. Because my purpose is secondary to God's. My purpose, I always knew my purpose when I was young, but I wasn't ready to do that. I wasn't ready to follow God. For what? I didn't want to follow God. I thought that was too structured, man. I was like, I can't have no fun. And then realize that when he equips you, man, he gives you everything. He gives you everything.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's all in one recipe. He don't leave no ingredients out when he give you some. God don't leave no ingredients out. We do, but he don't. You just got to tap in. You got to tap in, Me and Lou got into a heated conversation, nothing negative, the other day. And I said, Lou, we have to have these conversations like this because you're going to the next level, brother. You dealing with some stuff, brother. Do you even understand where you are right now? You helping people, man. Shit, you dealing with people that's dealing with stuff that, man, come on. So we have to have some tough, and I'm always like that with Lou. But I always respect Lou. Lou is older than me. He's my elder.
Mm-hmm.
I respect my elders. You know, I don't come off like I know now. I humble myself when I talk to him. You know what I mean? And I think we got to get back to that. Get back to the basics. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, my brother, I mean, I didn't mean to go off like I went off, man, but you know,
no, man. It's good, man. Good stuff.
you know,
Getting good response too.
you know, so and it's just time, man. It's just time. I mean, you know, I pray that we definitely, this is not the last time that we come together. And then, you know, I'm looking forward to doing some things with you out in the street, out in the world. You know what I mean? Such as pro mentorship stuff and stuff like that, as God see fits to bless you and empower you. You know what I mean? You can run some things by me. You know what I'm saying? I got some things to help you set up some things if you need that, you know,
Absolutely.
whatever. Curriculum and things like that, you know, because that's what I do, you know. I'm kind of stacked over here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm kind of stacked, and you know, I love sharing, I love giving, because we need to help each other, man. You know, I'm holding minds. God is blessing. So at the end of the day, such as I have, such as I give. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the streets need us, man. Souls need us.
Absolutely. And this was one of the first commitments that toward the ministry we was talking about. One of the first commitments that I did moving toward the ministry, you know. Because you know how we was talking last week, man. I said, man, I look at my schedule, man, and you know, everything's a sacrifice.
Right.
You know. So this is one of the first moves toward what we was talking about. You know, you carve out some time and just do it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
You know, that's the way that's the way it gotta be done, you know.
Right. No
So
doubt.
I didn't realize I was ready as I was, man. I had my backdrop and everything in the house already. So I was set up. All I had to do was come on in here, man.
Right.
You know? But you know, and then we got a little music room and everything. I had this set up when we first got here like this, and not even knowing that later on. And I'm not even lying, man. It hit me the other day. I said, wait a minute. I said, all I gotta do is go in the den, and I said, I got the curtain, everything set up. I said, all I gotta do is pull the curtain, man.
Right.
And I'm set up.
Right.
That's all I had to do, just pull the curtain. We got a little music room set up in here. I'm actually sitting on the organ right now. You know,
Right.
I got the drums and everything right here. You know, the keyboards and stuff.
Okay.
So I see. You know, we set it up like this a long time ago, almost like a stage. And then, you know, we did this in 2006, man, when we first moved in.
Okay.
You know, we progressed later on. You know, I said, I'm already set up to I said, all I gotta do is go in there and pull a curtain, and I'm set up.
Right.
You know, so it was easy, man. I actually I had to run out earlier, so I set myself up. I came in here. I had the you know, this what they call it, something like a pod or whatever. You put the
tripod.
Yeah, this what they call it, they be
tripod
using it for the phone. It's actually not a tripod. It's one of them this stick that the people be selfie sticks. That's what they call them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So my daughter had one of these in here.
Right.
I bumped into that a couple of weeks ago. Right. You know, I've been doing some skating, and I said, you know what, man, maybe I ought to grab this and I'll take this out when I do skating. And I could, you know, I never did it, but all things came together, man, just like that, man. So I set myself up in here before I left out today, so I come back and you know, I'd be prepared, man. I walked in here about 7:58, man.
Right.
And got myself together. and log right on, man. I was ready, man. So but this again was just another testament, another confirmation to you know, how easy it'd just be to set something like this up. Like, you know, I was throwing the idea around about Zoom, you know, what type of venue to do, and, you know, Instagram, whatever, podcast style, you know, conference call, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, man. So this was it was good, man. It's encouraging me. So you blessing, and I'm excited, man. So I appreciate you,
No
and
doubt.
I know I definitely met you for a reason. You know, God put that together for a reason that day.
Right.
When I came out there, the Sparks thing, Lose thing that day.
Right.
You know, because
Right.
you was talking about really reaching out to men, to young men, boys, you know, males, and that's what God put on my heart as well. So.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I look forward to it, man. I enjoyed it, and I actually tapped on last night real quick. You know,
I saw you. I saw you.
yeah, I was doing some chores. I said, you know what? Let me tap on real quick, and your partner wasn't on yet. You was on Dolo at that time, so I guess
Right.
he came on later.
Right.
But yeah, I tapped on last night.
He didn't come on last night at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had to something had came up or whatever. He had let me know, you know.
Oh, okay.
And I went on. I was like, listen, it must go on.
Right.
Let's go on, because I got bit with the bug, man.
Yeah. That's evident.
Right. It's innately there. It's like, because I have a mandate, and it's no time frame, because I don't know when it's my time to leave here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I know God is pushing me to do this work. And
That's
so
right.
I'm excited about it. I'm like a kid in the candy store, man. I love it. I love doing this work. And it's hard. And this is not easy work. And I would by no
No, it's
means
not.
tell anybody that this is the easy situation. It's just that it's my life. It's my life, period. Like I go to work every day. I know I got to go to get that paycheck. You know what I'm saying? To take care of my family the best way I can, and sow seeds into whatever else. This is my life, man. I have to be on here. Somebody has to hear something, or I have to hear something from somebody. Because people be tapping in, and I'll be listening, like the brother was putting stuff out there. That's what I'm getting from people, man. Like you commented on, making comments when you came on. I need to hear that stuff. That's feedback. You know what I'm saying? That's feedback. That fuels my engine too.
Yeah,
You know what
that
I'm saying?
exchange.
Give me different reviews. Give me different things to think about on how I need to go about different things. So it ain't like, I ain't just on here putting it out. I'm receiving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I receive, man. And bro, I don't have no problem with it, because I know it's right what's coming at me. And so, and then I need to be challenged too. And you know what I mean? I need to be challenged too. We need to challenge each other. We need to help each other go to the next level. You know, I can't be on the same level as you and help you that much. You know what I'm saying? And we have to get around people that's doing things maybe longer than us, or just more intentional than us, to get us there, to want to be there in that position.
Right.
You know, my mentors are T.D. Jakes, you know, Bishop Noel Jones, you know what I mean? You know, Creflo Dollar. Those are some of my mentors. I have some mentors outside of that I know in person.
Right.
It's some men of God. I got women of God too, as well. Joyce Myers, you know what I mean? I listen to my wife, preferably my wife, powerful. I listen to a lot of what she puts out. So I get stuff from other people, and to add on to extract from them. I extract that from them and add it to my repertoire. That's what I do. That's what the greats do. The greats get stuff from other people, add it to their stuff, and boom. That's what they do, man. And so I don't have a problem with that. Each one teach one. I don't know it all. And so, you know, Terrence, I see your growth. Yeah, my brother. Yeah, it's God is definitely moving, man. We definitely gonna get together, man, soon. I'm talking about soon, man, because we gonna get this work. And I see the growth in you, my brother. I see what God is doing in your life and how you moving towards, you know. So yeah, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you. 2 years ago, bro, I wasn't where I am now.
Yeah.
There's no way. You got to tap in. You can't do things at a certain level by not doing something. You know what I mean? I've been at this boom, 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 boom. I've been tapping in, because I wasn't even on, believe it or not, before last year, before the pandemic, I wasn't even on social media like that. I got social media pages, I got my mentorship program that I put out there, my books and stuff like that, what I do. But speaking like this, you couldn't get me to speak on here. Because I was like, man, I sound crazy. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I know how it sounded. And then one
Yeah.
day I was sitting on my couch and my wife said, you need to start doing da, 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 da. Next thing I just took my tripod and I'm sitting here with all the stuff now. My tripod, I got all you need is your phone. Man, next thing you know, man, I got on here and I started speaking. I went in for a whole hour. And it was like, wow. And that was like sweatless labor. It was like nothing. So that's how I started doing it. Holy Spirit was like, yo, go. He said, put what you're gonna put your topics. Start going with your topics. So I
Mm-hmm.
labeled it, community awareness. And that's when I started going in. And from that, I started saying, wow, okay, becoming parent partners. Then God just start downloading to me. Boom, 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 boom. And that's how he does. Once you
Mm-hmm.
tap into what he wants you to do, he gonna give you the stuff. He gonna give it to you. And that's exactly how I started this Instagram Live. Now I'm in 80 videos deep.
Wow.
I'm getting ready to chop them up and start sending them out. You know what I mean? And start ministering like I'm supposed
Yeah.
to. Once this pandemic stuff, that's the plan, is once this pandemic stuff ease up some, then I can hit out in them streets. Because
Mm-hmm.
you ain't really going out there right now because it's crazy right now.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? You have to use wisdom. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so, God has not loosed me. He said, no, go hard in your lab. When it's the point of time, release, just go off. You know what I mean? And that's what's getting ready. And I'm connecting with a lot of brothers right now too. Because people be on this Instagram, man. They be on it. They'll be on Twitter. They be on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook. And they hear you, boom, like you scrolled in, you say, yo, I'm cleaning up. Yo, let me
Mm-hmm.
scroll into my man. Boom, I was on there.
Yep.
They get used to seeing you, they gonna come on. They gonna see what you want to see what you're talking about. And so that's just how it works, man. And so now my name is is moving out there, my ministry. And so it's about God is loosened. He's allowed me to go. And so again, brother, I appreciate your time tonight, man. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Appreciate you. I appreciate you, man.
right. Your family, appreciate your family allowing you the time, allotting you that time,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? Because it
Yeah.
takes family too to agree with
My son actually tapped in a few minutes ago. He tapped in for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but yeah, again, man, and I commend what you're doing, man, as a head of your household, as a man of God. You know what I mean? And just keep doing the work, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and God has some great things in store for you, man. Your trail. Just be a trailblazer. You know what I mean? Be a trailblazer, and God gonna loosen it. He gonna loosen it. God is loosening it on His people, man. Period. If you
Yeah.
doing nothing, you get nothing. That's the
That's right.
bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So we gotta leave legacies. We gotta leave, inheritance to our children, not just money, but
Billy Preston.
right. You know what I mean? We definitely gotta leave things that's gonna empower our children. Because money ain't just gonna empower them. Because they need something to manage that. They need a peace.
That's right.
Peace in their life. They
That's
need
right.
joy. You know what I'm saying? They want to be, you don't want your kids to have money and have substance, but have no peace. We have to help them gain that through how
Mm-hmm.
once they see us calm and going through life, and dealing with different things in a way where they can receive it. And they say, wow, man, dad is really cool, man. This dude is like, that's how I want to see want my kids to see me. I don't want them to see me all mad and angry at the world and disgruntled, because that stuff rubs off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if they see you like, yeah, hey, what's going on? You have them real conversations with them. You can sit down and break bread, or you can talk to them or whatever. Man, they want that. They need that. That's, as fathers, that's what we have gotten away from. 70% of us is not in the household.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to get that back. We need to get some of that back, man. That's what I'm after.
Yeah.
I'm after breaking that curse, man, that generational curse, because it's a lie, and it's destroying our families and our generations to come. And so we need to kill it. We need to kill it right where it's at right now, and start raising them up. Because I don't know how long God is going to keep me on this earth. I don't know that. So I got to go hard for mine. Because my reward is not here. My reward,
Yeah.
my crown is in heaven.
Yeah.
So you know, I ain't looking for too much down here, to be honest with you. I'm not looking for too much. I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for something that I can give to somebody else. You know what I mean? That's what I'm after. I'm after to help
Yeah.
the next person do good. Cause I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. Where I come from, man, I'm batting 1,000. My life story, man, please. I ain't supposed to be talking. Had a trach, you know what I'm saying? Things happen in my life. Shot, stabbed, prison, drugs. Shoo. And I'm still here with the glad's glad. Come on, man. That's what it's about. You know, because
Yeah.
I got that bug, got that Jesus bug. You know what I mean? And that Jesus bug is real. You know, and so we got to put that energy out here, man. People need to feel us, man. They need to feel God through us. You know, they need to, because they can't see God, but they can see him through us.
Mm-hmm.
We're representations of God. We're little G's on this earth. You know what I mean? And if we do what we're supposed to do, God's going to shine through us every time. Let that light so shine. And that's what we got to do. So again, my brother, I'm about to step off here, man. And I'm wore out now, but it's all good. It's for the glory of God. And,
Yeah. Put that work in again.
Man,
Now.
but that's what it do, though.
Yeah.
That's what it do, man. It's like the more I keep going, it's like, tink, 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 God keep taking me up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, and I want people to feel the energy, man, feel God's energy, man, because we need his energy to do great things on this earth. We need his energy, man. We need it. I know I do. I'm gonna speak for myself. I know I do.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
I can't live without him. I can't do anything without him. You know, I can't think without him. I can't walk without him. I can't talk without him. You know what I'm saying? Without his approval. You know, and if I keep it there, then boom, everything else is gonna line up.
Mm-hmm.
When I fall, I'm gonna get up, dust myself off, keep it moving. So again, thanks, Terrence, man, for coming on tonight, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate you coming in, and you know, we definitely appreciate you, and hopefully, you know, we definitely ain't gonna be strangers. Like we got away, things was happening, we was regrouping and all that, but now we back, man. Let's make it happen together, man. And so we can direct these souls to Christ, man, and let God bless us, bless our socks off. You know what I mean? Until the next time, peace.
All right.
You got
All
anything
right,
you want to say, my brother, before we go?
Nah, I appreciate you, man. I look forward to doing it again.
Okay,
It's
man.
actually the first time I've been on something, like that. I've been on Zoom before.
Right.
First time I did a little Instagram,
Right.
So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the experience. I appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom, man. And the opportunity as well, and
Right.
encouragement, because you encouraged me, man. So I appreciate that.
No doubt.
Yeah. So God is in it. I feel God in it, man.
Okay. Appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You're a blessing, man. So thank you so much, man. That's all I gotta say. Till next
Okay.
time.
Thanks for coming on again, my brother. Peace.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you in a minute.
All right.